So welcome back, viewers, to my self-build journey with me, Harry Van Gorkum. I haven't seen I haven't seen you all. I've never seen you all, but I haven't done this for a while. It's been pretty, not much has been going on. But the most important thing is that I noticed on one of the marketing newsletters from Danwood that a house like mine, the Point 150E model, had been built in Berkshire, just finished. So I reached out to Danwood, and through the Danwood network, they have got in contact with the owner for me. And the owner has accepted or let me come to the house and visit it and see the house and talk to her name is Pauline, about the process, about how she loves the house, about any problems that came up, about everything to do with the build for Danwood or with Danwood. Now I'm a bit nervous. I must admit, I'm a little bit nervous about this because it's kind of unusual, unless maybe you're building a house at Graven Hill or so, where you can see the models, other houses being built in the same kind of style. For us as Danwood self-builders, we see the computerized images in the catalogue, we see the plans, we see the dimensions, we imagine everything in our heads. But in most cases, we're not actually going to see the completed house until it's built in front of us and we walk into the house as it's being built. So this is a really great opportunity, and I recommend to any of you who have this chance to actually see the house that you're going to build and be able to walk into it and explore it and look around it, so you can get the full dimensions in your head, so you can see how big the rooms are, so you can work out the layout, so you can kind of, even though you've probably already prepared it in your head, where the furniture is going to go, where that cupboard's going to go, where you're going to put the sofa, where you're going to put the television, all that stuff. Now, of course, the house I'm going to see, they've rearranged the rooms. That's the joy of Danwood. They've done a different layout to the layout I'm having. So I am nervous, I must admit. I'm going to be driving soon, and I'll probably film it if I can, driving around the corner and seeing for the first time my house. My model house that I'm building. I will finally see the size of it, the scale of it, and what it is really like. So welcome on this journey today. It's going to be a strange one. It's going to be a really interesting one. And I'm now 8 minutes away from the house. And here we go. All the way down. Oh, I think I see it. There it is. Oh my goodness. Just behind this wall, there's another house being built next to it. There's my house. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's big. It's lovely. this is the hallway area. Standard staircase, but carpets on the staircase, which we'll talk about later. Hardwood floors all the way through. Into the technical room, which is also a laundry room. So you've got washer dryer, which again you can probably stack somewhere. Here's your water tank, your comfort air circulation system, the main lever controls for the hot water, underfloor heating control system. This is all for the underfloor heating here. Downstairs bathroom. Downstairs bedroom. Again, really good size. Kitchen. Spotless kitchen. Biscuits ready on the table. Tell you what, you get a lot of lovely light here, don't you? Are you west facing? Which way are you facing?
South west.
South.
Yeah.
Because I'm
south that way.
South that way, so I'm about the same actually. So kitchen all the way down to the dining room, and then the living room. So going up the stairs now. Now, one thing that Pauline did say is that the stairs can be quite slippery. In fact, so slippery, we'll talk about that later on. And then the upstairs layout is, Pauline's changed it really well actually. So here's the upstairs landing. The carpet actually very similar to what I'm going to use. A sort of light beige carpet. And then you walk into the bathroom, which will be similar layout to mine. The sink. And you bang your head on the ceiling if you're not careful. Pauline, hello.
Hello, Harry.
Pauline's been so kind to let me come into her house and snoop around and look at it and ask so many questions already. I've had so many questions, it's insane, haven't I, Pauline?
Yes, but I had lots to tell you as well.
I know. So, Pauline, on the whole, was it a good experience? Let's start there.
Yes, Danwood itself. I mean, the planning was a nightmare. You know, other things were a nightmare, but the actual build with Danwood was good.
You talked about the delivery of the house, which was nerve-wracking because it's coming down a little driveway.
A very narrow lane, yes, yeah.
And then it's going up. Was that fun to see it go up?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was exciting. I've probably got videos of it. Yeah,
yeah.
It was exciting to see it, and within 2 weeks. It was up, you could see the house.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, and downstairs you could walk in and see where your rooms were downstairs.
Yeah. And then so this team of workers come in and they're like, you said they were very good, they work 7 till 7.
Yeah, brilliant, very, very hard, yeah.
But you did say there was a problem with them communicating with you. They didn't communicate with you much.
They don't speak very little English. And yes, that was
The weird thing is the one word I know in Polish is dziękuję, which means thank you.
All right. I thought it was handy to know. I didn't know that.
Because I had a Polish friend of mine, had a Polish grandmother, and we always said "Dziękuję babciu," which means thank you, grandmother.
All right.
But I mean, the house looks really, really lovely. What you've done with it, And to make it feel really homely, I've always thought would be a problem, but Pauline's done an amazing job making it feel really homely and like it's lived in for. It feels like it's been lived in for years.
I haven't decorated so much yet, though, and I think.
Really?
Well, one idea I'm going to have when I can, once the cracks have been sorted, is a nice wallpaper.
Yeah.
You know, sort of just in that
Yeah,
area
yeah,
there.
future walls and stuff.
Yeah,
maybe, yeah, because I was looking. So you mentioned cracks, Pauline.
Yes.
Tell us about the cracks.
Well, they are supposed to come out and sort them, so it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, there are some.
Because they say when you build a house, you shouldn't really decorate it for a year because of the cracks. Because as the house settles, cracks will start to appear.
They've come from the sort of joints in the corner and they've cracked right across. Yeah, and they've got.
I mean, I'll film some of those later to show you, but it's like they're sort of hairline cracks just in the wall, and so they say they then will come out and fill those. And, and then also is that the same issue with sagging? Or not? Is that different than sagging? Snagging. So what is the snagging?
Is one of the snagging is all little things like the cracks, like
as the house settles, so to speak.
As the house settles, and
house basically is settling on the foundation, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you've had cracks, you've had slight snagging issues. What other? Because whenever you watch these videos for Danwood, and God bless them, they interview people afterwards, and they've had a perfect house, everything's been great. Let's be honest, what would you suggest to Danwood could be changed or could be improved in the build process for you, so they know that?
Well, more advice on electricity plan.
Okay, anything else with the actual build, as far as you said you had a bit of problems with the electrician?
Yes, the electrician was, computer says no, you know, it's on the plan, it's not on the plan, but it's on the plan. Yeah, and there was no response until I put it in as a snag. Sort of 5 or 6 weeks after I moved in, and they come. To be fair, they did come and sort them out.
Okay, so that's important. So once you've moved in and you find things that are wrong, you contact your agent at Danwood, and so you give them a list basically of things that aren't working.
Yeah.
And then they were pretty good at coming and
fixing
them.
They did, and they went round and even things I hadn't put on the list. If somebody saw something, they'd sort it. They were very good. They were. Yeah.
Let's talk about Pauline, let's talk about your staircase. So you've got the lovely Danwood wooden sweeping staircase.
Which I love, yes.
Yeah, which is a really nice design feature.
Yeah.
Now, any problems with that?
Well, it's just the fact that it was very slippery.
Yeah.
And I was walking down one day with socks on. Yeah. And fell down and broke my leg.
Because you slipped on the stairs?
Slipped on the stair. Luckily, it wasn't too bad a break, but it was a broken.
It still broke, yeah.
So I managed to get it carpeted quite quickly. So
how easy was it to carpet? And how much did it cost roughly? So we know
I got it done very cheaply. It was £650, including carpet and fitting and everything.
Okay. So as far as the actual financial outlay, were there any big surprises during the whole build? Was there anything that caught you off guard totally?
Well, it was just things that no one had mentioned, like containers, skips, welfare hut.
I looked in the small print, because when I had that from them, I actually looked, and on the little booklet they send you of the preparation for site, they did finally list. You do need a shelter and a toilet and fencing and all that kind of stuff, and a storage place for all the stuff they're bringing in. And
yes,
that's the
container.
cost.
So it was roughly £450 for the duration of the build, this container.
The container.
And there's 4 skips at £300 per skip. That was the cheapest I could find.
So the skips were for all the rubbish coming off the house and all the stuff, not soil. That's not soil.
Not soil. No, just.
So 4 skip loads, which is £300 each.
Yeah.
Just another £1,200.
Yeah.
Why is everything 1,200?
Yeah.
Me and Pauline were talking about this. Whenever someone gives you a quote for something, you just wait for the 1,200 number to come up. You just sort of speak about.
Or it's £1,000 plus VAT, which makes it
about 1,200. So, just looking at the list that you made of your costings, there's things like the soil test was 1,632, which is a lot more than I expected. The topographical survey was another 1,056, and then the engineering structural foundation is 533. So you're looking at probably another 2,500 of stuff that I hadn't expected. How easy was it, by the way, to hang curtain rails and stuff?
Very easy, yeah, yeah. And the walls are very, very strong.
There's enough studs and stuff, or can you go straight into the wall?
You don't even just go straight into the wall.
Really?
And that mirror is very heavy.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah.
So that's not hanging off any...
It's got just 2 screws, one at either end, yeah.
So you go straight into the wall?
TVs straight on the wall.
Really?
Yeah. No, that is good, yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to find studs for everything. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But I mean, so the tiling looks very good, and all the bathrooms and stuff. The tiling.
Yeah, they're all Danwood apart from the kitchen floor.
Yeah, with actual tiling, the grouting and stuff seems really nicely done.
Yes, and there was just these two tilers that looked like brothers, but they weren't apparently.
Now tell me about the ramp, because as we all know in Danwood, you have to have a wheelchair access ramp to the front door. And
why do we have to have a ramp? I mean,
it could be because they're really high off the ground. I mean, if you look out this door here, you're about a foot off the ground, aren't you?
Yeah, it is high up. It's good for any kind of flooding and that, but yeah, it is high up. But
it's a nuisance having that ramp.
It is a nuisance.
As Pauline's good point was, if you want to put a porch up there, it's quite hard to put a porch on the...
No, because it's sort of sloping down.
Yeah, because it's sloping, you have one longer post and shorter post.
Yeah.
The other thing Pauline was talking about, she actually got the same person at the groundworks did a lovely terrace. That's useful to think about. Get them to come back into your terrace. The topsoil, which you could use if it's the right soil, I suppose. You could use to sprinkle over your garden for the garden and the seeding. Pauline seeded, which has actually come through really well. Well, I'd like to thank Pauline very much, because she's let me intrude in her house for almost 4 hours. Let's be honest.
It's been a great pleasure.
I've had 3 cups of tea, Jaffa cakes, and lunch. You see, that's the service. By the way, Pauline did all that for her workforce too. Bacon baps, cans of Coke, lots of stuff for the workers, all the time feeding them.
Yeah.
Did you get a dziękuję, which means thank you in Polish?
No.
Nope. So Danwood, have your crews learn to say thank you and please. We can teach them please and thank you, especially if someone's making bacon baps for you and giving you free biscuits and cans of Coke and water and cups of tea all day.
Yes, I got through loads of those.
That put a budget up another £300, that did. But it's been a really, I think you'll all find this, I found it the most helpful trip I've done so far on my Danwood journey, because to walk into the house you're going to build, to see everything as it is, to see the sizes exactly as they are, to see the problems that can occur, the things that work well, so you're kind of one step ahead when you're building it. And Pauline probably regrets that she didn't have something like this at the time.
I do, yeah.
You know, because if you're one step ahead, then you can be prepared for these little problems when they happen. Anyway, thank you very much, Pauline, very, very much. Thank you.
You're very welcome, it's been lovely.
And so that was incredibly useful. I'm home now, and I've thought about the whole experience I had with Pauline and her lovely house in Berkshire, and there's probably 2 or 3 takeaways I've come from it. I've come away with it from. No, anyway, there's 2 or 3 things I've come to think about since being there. First of all, Pauline's built a beautiful house. The Danwood house was really, really better than I expected. That was a lovely thing. Seeing it, seeing the size, seeing the proportions, seeing the finishes, it was really, really up to what I expected, which was a lovely, lovely experience for me. As far as Pauline's experience went, I think she had a very good one. I mean, there were things that she talked about in the videos you saw. A lot of the stuff was pre-Danwood involved, planning permission, foundations, getting the site ready, preparing the site, all those things we know in the videos I've done so far, and I carry on doing because I'm breaking ground on my foundations in a couple of weeks. That'll be the next episode. Those are in our hands, and Dan would help us as much as they can with those steps. As far as the actual build for Pauline, it seemed to go very well, and we've got to understand that the communication issues she had may have been to do because it was being built during COVID. So her house, her crew were working during COVID, which can't have been easy. There can't have been much communication anyway. A lot of phone communication probably, not a lot of face-to-face communication, which we'll have now the pandemic is on the dwindle. The thing I came out with it from is the electrical plan. I think the electrical plan can be really hard for a lot of people, and it is hard. The electrical plan is very complicated. When you're going through it with Danwood in their office, I was actually in their office working with my agents, which really helped. You can really work out where the plugs are. Now, they give you an electrical plan complete, And it's really up to you to then, if you want to change things around, you want to put plugs in different rooms, lights in different rooms, sockets in different rooms, light switches on different walls, that's really up to you and your taste. The actual Danwood creation of the electrical plan is done by a professional electrician. So if you are uncomfortable with that and want more time with it, then I suggest to you what you can do is you can take the electrical plan maybe to an electrician and go through it with them to make sure everything, if you want to move things, they're okay. But again, Danwood, when I did my electrical plan, Danwood were very good. If I changed things around or put plugs in different places, it then came back with their suggestions of where I should put them, because that wouldn't work according to the electrics. It's not easy to do an electrical plan. It's one of the hardest things, and probably when I'm doing my house I'll probably regret having a plug there and not having a plug there. That's going to happen. What else was her thing? The staircase. Again, the staircase, you've got to think about it. You've got a choice of not varnished or highly varnished or more sort of unvarnished approach. The varnish is going to be slippery, and I've thought about that. It's horrible that Pauline broke her leg. That's terrible, and it can happen. I kept that in the video because it is something we should look out for. If you've got the varnished floors, be careful with kids in socks on the stairs. It's like any staircase. If it's slippery, put a non-slip finish on it. What else was she having problems with? I can't think of many more. I mean, the aftercare service, again, she had, but it wasn't easy because of COVID, I think. The follow-up for the various snagging and cracking, I think Dan were on top of that. Little cracks are going to appear as the house settles on the foundation, but they're aware of that, and they come back and they fill it in, and they fill in and they complete any problems with that. She was saying you make a list. Well, the ramp. I mean, the ramp is something we have to do. I'm actually thinking about putting my ramp maybe to the back entrance of the house, not the front entrance, so you don't have that porch problems. But that again is personal choice. Pauline wanted to do it at the front, so that will be a porch situation. But that's something we have to do. It's the law now as far as disabled access into a house and disabled manoeuvrability on the ground floor of the house. So that was it. I think on the whole she had a very good experience. So I think on the whole she was very happy. I mean, I was very happy. I was really happy that I could get in and see the house and walk around it. And it's just made my ideas blossom as far as where I'm going to put things and how I'm going to lay the house out and the kitchen and everything. So a great experience. Anyway, next one is going to be the foundations with the topographical survey bit as well, a little bit about that. So stay tuned and watch that one. Thanks a lot. Have fun and good luck with your self-build. See you soon.